I want to share a little secret and something that has helped me a ton. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 most research-backed strategies that will help you stay fit. And if you stick around long enough, I'm going to share the 2-minute rule. This has completely changed the way that I function and operate after my sport came to an end and my motivation was at an all-time low. The 2-minute rule is this. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Now What podcast. I am your host, Sierra Stout. I'm glad you're here, and if you haven't joined us before, I played Division I college athletics, and when my sport came to an end, one of the first questions that came to my mind was, now what? What do I do? How do I live my days? How do I spend my time? How do I take care of my body? How do I find friends outside of my teammates? How do I have accountability? How do I go get a job? All these things came swarming in. And so that's the heart behind this podcast. We're really creating a space and community for people who have finished that season of their life and are wondering, now what? So today we are diving into the top 5 research-backed strategies that will not only help you stay fit longer, but motivated and healthy long after that season of playing sports came to an end. How many of you who are listening to this right now played competitively to some extent, whether that was in high school, college, or professionally, and when your sport came to an end, you kind of lost your why. You lost that accountability from coaches and teammates to go and work hard towards a goal or for something that gave you meaning, it gave you value and purpose. And I'm not going to lie, when all of that comes to an end and you don't have the people telling you to wake up for 6 a.m. weights, it's kind of hard to get your butt up and go do that for yourself. So if you're struggling in that season right now, I just wanted you to know that you are not alone. And that's why I'm talking about the 5 things that you can practically do to increase your motivation, your fitness, and your health for years to come. So strategy number 1. We need to redefine your why. As an athlete, your why was clear, right? You wanted to win games. You wanted to win whatever you were doing. You wanted to make the team. You wanted to beat your personal records. And now, without the competition, many former athletes struggle to find purpose in their workouts. So if that's you, again, you're not alone. I think the solution here is to switch from performance-based goals to lifestyle goals. What does that look like? Well, let's start by identifying your why first. I need you to write it down. If you have a pen and paper and if you're in a space to listen right now, I just encourage you to figure out the root. Is it to have energy for your kids? Is it to manage stress from your new job or your career? Is it to maintain the confidence that you felt as an athlete? I want you to be very specific. Next, I want you to set SMART goals. Instead of saying, I want to get faster, how about you frame it as, I really want to try to complete a 5K in 25 minutes or less. It gives you these attainable things that are not super performance-based, but it gives you a reason to go out there and push your body to its limits like you used to all the time. And the third thing to do is focus on how exercise makes you feel. Track your energy levels, your mood, your sleep quality, not just your performance metrics. There's a lot of other benefits that working out does for your body, so start to pay attention to where you're noticing those. I remember when my sport came to an end and I almost rebelled against working out for a couple of months. And sure, I was still active and out playing pickleball and other fun things to move my body, but I wasn't actionably taking care of my body and showing up into the gym on a weekly basis. And it was pretty weird, I'd never really experienced that before, but after some time I realized, man, I'm kind of have the itch to get back in there, and I didn't really know what to do. But one thing that was attainable for me was I ended up signing up for a race. I'd never ran before. I played golf, so that wasn't really a part of my regimen or my routine, but I really wanted to do it. It was something new and it was going to keep my body active. So my goal was just to complete a 15K, and that gave me the motivation and the willpower to get up, to go run, to train my body, and it put me back into a routine that I didn't realize how much I missed. All right, strategy number 2. We need to build your new accountability system. So now you've defined your why, but how are you going to stick to it? You don't have coaches or teammates anymore with that built-in accountability. So who is going to be that for you? I suggest creating multiple layers of accountability that replace what your team may have provided. So what you actionably could do is find a workout buddy or a group, join fitness classes, running clubs, or find a gym partner. And research shows that social accountability actually increases your exercise adherence by up to 95%. I know for me, again, back on the running trend, I joined a run club. It was amazing what showing up and having a group of people did for me. When we wake up on Saturday mornings and we go run really early, it would be easy on my own to say, no, I'm not going to show up and go. But as soon as you like that message that you're in, you have that willingness and reason to show up and go run. Another actionable option that you could do is use different training apps. I know that Strava is something that kind of tracks your workout. And as you're following a group of friends, they can see what you're doing, you can see what they're doing, and it can be a layer of accountability. And lastly, you need to schedule it like a meeting. Put it on your calendar. If you have a Google Calendar and you're looking at your day before you go to bed the night before, have your workout on there. If you had an 8 a.m. meeting with your boss, you're not just going to sleep through and miss it. You're going to get up and you're going to be on it. So why are we treating a workout any differently? Think back to high school, college, or professionally, whatever extent you played your sport to. If you had weights that morning, you weren't missing it. Do the same thing now. Set aside time in the morning between 5 and 8 a.m. because studies show that people who complete their workouts early are 90% more likely to get into a fitness routine and actually show up for themselves. I actually found this pretty interesting, but apparently fitness professionals noted that former athletes often need more accountability than the average person because they're used to that external structure. And so when they don't have it anymore, it's a lot harder for them to lean in and show up for themselves. So again, if you're in that space, you're a part of this community, you're a part of this group for a reason, and it's okay. We're going to combat it together. Strategy number 3 is embracing exercise variety and learning to have fun with it. Many former athletes stick to what they know. You show up, you do the same lifts, you do the same cardio, you do the same routine. I don't care who you are, over time, that's going to burn you out. It's not going to be fun anymore. So no wonder you're feeling burnout from the gym. So what if you use this transition to explore new ways to move your body, new ways to work out, and yes, have fun with it. So some actionable tips that we can do in this season is try out new things that you were never able to do as an athlete, such as dance classes, rock climbing, Pilates, yoga, pickleball. I don't care what it is. Just go and explore things that you didn't normally have time to do. Studies show that it's actually healthy to mix up your training styles. So alternate between strength training, cardio, flexibility work, recreational sports. This prevents both physical plateaus and mental burnout. Lastly, I know this might sound lame, but go join a recreational league. Many adults who are playing in them were actually former athletes themselves. So you're stepping into an organization or a group of people who most likely feel the exact same way that you are. So knock off the shame and go get involved. I do recommend being involved with activities that involve a social group because when it's social, it's a lot more fun and it's relational, and odds are you're not really thinking about the fact that you're working out. We're already on to number 4, and this is where we need to create sustainable routines for this new season of our life in regards to fitness and training. I know your life as an athlete was solely focused on training and fitness, and now you have work, maybe a family, friends, social obligations, and other areas of your life that are pulling you in many different directions. I know that it's easy for many of us athletes to try and maintain that same intensity or the duration of our workouts like we were when it was honestly our job, and that's not sustainable. That's not something that you can do on a day-to-day basis unless you literally made it your job, and you have to find new ways to integrate it into your new lifestyle. So the solution, we need to design a routine that fits your actual life now and not your former athlete life. So let's start with consistency over intensity. It's better to work out for 30 minutes 4 times per week than to do 2-hour workouts sporadically. You can really focus on using the minimum effective dose principle, which is just 150 minutes of exercise per week can actually help you attain all the health benefits that comes from moving your body. I may be the first person to tell you this, but you don't need to continue to train not like you were still competing. Next, you need to plan for your schedule. If you work long hours, morning workouts might benefit you better. Or if you're a stay-at-home mom and your kids are up early, well, you might want to stay home instead of going to the gym. Whatever fits you and your lifestyle, just make room for it and be intentional about it. And lastly, this is arguably the most important one. You need to prepare for the obstacles that are going to come. It's life. Things are going to happen. Busy days are going to come up. But what are you going to do about it? I recommend having a 15-minute bodyweight routine that you can stick to and follow through with if you're having one of those busy days. You can take a walk around the block. Maybe you just go get a mile in. I'm sure that you can find 18 to 22 minutes of your day to move for yourself. Or even have a stretching or yoga routine that you can do while you're watching TV with your family or your kids. All I'm saying is that you need to have something in place when these days come so that you can choose not to neglect your body. And strategy number 5, I'm sure you were not expecting this one to be on the list, but it is addressing the mental and identity shift that has taken place. This is often the most overlooked aspect of staying fit, and it's the fact that former athletes are struggling with this identity crisis of this not being their entire world or their entire identity. And so when things come to an end, it can cause grief, which can cause isolation and so many other things. If you haven't already, here is a video that I did on grief if you want to check it out. No pressure, obviously, but I tap into those things and maybe it'll help you realize that, man, nothing's wrong with me. I'm actually just grieving and I had no idea. So the first thing that we can do is just simply acknowledge the fact that this is more of a mental journey than a physical one. Staying fit actually starts with your mind first and then your body. You know, I think one of the best things to do is just recognize that this is normal. Feeling lost or unmotivated to go and work out is actually a part of this transition process for former athletes to have. I wish somebody would have told me that because I beat myself to a pulp about it, but you're not broken, you're just adapting. I would highly suggest that you focus on the mental health benefits of working out. It can be a stress reliever, it can be a confidence booster, and let's be honest, it gives you back your you time, which we all deserve. I think if you can start to reframe your mind to see workouts as self-care time more than just physical maintenance, you'll start to experience a lot more change and positivity when you dive into these new routines. And I encourage you to just be patient with yourself. It actually takes 6 months up to 2 years to settle into a new fitness routine. And I would consider talking to somebody, maybe a sports psychologist or counselors who work with former athletes. What they can provide is actually really valuable support during this transition. And lastly, I think you just really need to focus on celebrating the small wins. If you stuck to your routine for a week, congratulations, celebrate it. It's actually harder to do than we think, especially when we don't have the same team, coaches, trainers, or accountability that we had growing up. Your why is different, your lifestyle is different, and when you show up for you, that is something worth celebrating. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. It's something called the 2-minute rule. This has completely changed the way that I function and operate after my sport came to an end and my motivation was at an all-time low. The 2-minute rule is this: you will commit to setting a timer for 2 minutes, and when your motivation is low and you don't feel like waking up or going to the gym, your commitment is, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna move my body for at least 2 minutes. I promise myself 2 minutes of undistracted movement, whether that's push-ups, jumping jacks, walking in a circle, squats, lunges, you name it, you're committing for 2 minutes every single day to move your body. And if that's the only thing that you have to give that day, well, then congratulations, because those are the small wins that are going to build into habit and routine over time. So to recap the 5 strategies, number 1, redefine your why. Why are you working out for yourself? Number 2, building new accountability systems and put them in place sooner than later will be way more helpful. Number 3, embrace the variety and rediscover new ways to have fun while working out. Number 4, create sustainable routines that actually are a part of your life, not a distraction from it. And number 5, you need to address the mental and identity changes that are happening during this transition. And as always, if this video has been a blessing to you whatsoever, or you realize that it might be something that somebody else needs to hear, make sure you share it with them. Give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Now What Podcast.